So now that you guys understand these terms, you are not only on your way to just train harder, but also to train smarter. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Social media has made fitness very, very complex. It can get quite overwhelming for a lot of beginners and also just overwhelming for anyone who does fitness regularly. I mean, most of us are just trying to just work out, just be healthy, get some movement in. But you see so many, science-based lifters and what's optimal, what's not optimal, terminologies thrown at you left and right, and it can get quite overwhelming. It was overwhelming for me as well when I first got into social media fitness. So in today's video, I'm gonna be simplifying some fitness terms that you have heard and making it easy to digest so that you don't have to be overwhelmed with all of the social media information out there, and also so that you guys can get a good balance of just straight up fitness and also science-based fitness. Finding that middle ground is the goal for today's video. And in today's video, we're gonna be talking about 3 terminologies, and that is going to be on concentric, eccentric, and isometric. I'm sure you've heard these terms before, and you may know what they are already, or you may not, and that's okay. Either way, it'll be helpful for you guys to watch this video because I'm gonna be using applicable examples to help you guys visualize what these terms mean and why it's important. Every exercise that you do uses at least one of these 3 actions: concentric, eccentric, and isometric. If you understand the difference, you can train smarter, break through plateaus, and get stronger a little bit faster. So let's get into these, and I'll show you how you can incorporate these to get better at calisthenics. So if you're only training one of these 3 muscle actions, you'd be surprised on how much progress you could actually be leaving on the table. These 3 terminologies are simply just muscle actions, and each one of these actions builds strength differently. And when you combine all 3 of these actions, your control, strength, and skill progress will skyrocket. So let's talk about the first phase, which is the eccentric portion of a movement. All eccentric means is when your muscles are lengthening under tension. So if we pretend that this is a dumbbell, when I am lowering this dumbbell, my biceps are lengthening, right? This is the eccentric portion of the movement. If we take the pull-up, for example, when we are lowering ourselves from the pull-up position, that is also the eccentric. And in the push-up as well, when we are lowering ourselves to the ground, that is the eccentric. Now, our bodies can usually lower more weight going down eccentrically than coming back up because your muscles are also getting help from your tendons and connective tissue resisting that force. And for most movement, we are generally stronger on the eccentric phase of the movement. Now, you can use this to your advantage. If you cannot pull yourself up to the bar to do a proper pull-up, you can take advantage of eccentrics by just jumping above the pull-up bar and just slowly lowering yourself down in a controlled manner. Or if in a push-up, if you can't push yourself up from the ground, you can just focus on slow eccentric negatives by lowering yourselves nice and controlled. This is a great way to build strength, and it's also a great way to learn skills because you are training the direct movement pattern of the movement. Just only 50% of it, which will still be better than nothing. So getting direct training by doing the negative or downward motion is a lot more effective than just trying to spam a pull-up over and over or spam a push-up over and over when you can't even do the full movement. So that is the eccentric portion of a movement. The next phase is the concentric phase. All concentric means is the opposite of eccentric. So eccentric, we are lengthening. Concentric, we are contracting. Concentric starts with a C, contracting starts with a C. The muscles are shortening. So back to the dumbbell bicep curl example, if we are lowering the dumbbell, this is eccentric. Now concentric is when our bicep is going to be shortening or contracting in the upward movement like this. Now this is the harder phase. It requires the most active muscle recruitment and power to overcome the resistance. And not to mention, in the concentric portion of most movements, you are actively fighting yourself against gravity. So in a pull-up, when you are trying to pull up to the bar, not only are you trying to shorten and contract the muscles, but you are also pulling on the opposite direction that gravity is pulling you down. This is why this portion is so much harder than the eccentric portion. Same with the push-up. When we are pushing up from the ground, it is much harder because we are also fighting against gravity. So if you can't do the concentric portion of, push-ups or pull-ups or squats, You can focus on just the eccentric motion to build that strength in that specific movement pattern. Now, the final terminology we will cover today is isometrics. This is the phase where the muscle is actively contracting, but not going through a lengthening or shortening motion. So we are contracting the muscles, but the muscle is really not moving at all. So if you go back to a bicep curl, this is the eccentric portion, this is the concentric portion. If we were to just hold out here and just contract and hold this dumbbell in this position, that is an isometric hold. Think of holding a plank or even doing an L-sit. When we are doing an L-sit or plank, our muscles aren't lengthening or contracting at any point. It is just a static hold. Isometrics are amazing on their own because they build stability, they build endurance, and it teaches you to own a position, meaning master a certain position. And calisthenics has a lot of isometric movements. L-sits, human flags, front lever, back lever. We have to be able to master this one position in an isometric manner. On top of that, isometrics are incredible for engaging your whole body and your core. So it's incredible for stability, and it also strengthens your control so that you can maintain proper form through other dynamic movements in the eccentric or concentric phase. So just to recap, this is the eccentric phase where we're lowering. Coming back up is the concentric phase. And if we are just actively contracting and holding this one position out here, this is the isometric phase. Now you should be incorporating all of these type of movements throughout your training. If you can't do a full push-up, you can do just eccentric portions of the push-ups where you're just lowering yourself to the ground nice and controlled, resetting, and then just lowering yourself again. And you can also keep training the concentric by doing an easier variation of the push-up, like doing push-ups on your knees, so that you can get both the eccentric and concentric portion of the movement. And you should also be incorporating isometric work into your training as well. You can do this with hollow body holds, you can do them with planks, all of which are great options to train. And most beginners only focus on trying to get reps, but remember, calisthenics is about controlling your body through every phase of the movement. Training all three will not only just make you stronger, but it'll improve your form and also speed up your progress in every skill that you're working on. Now, if you want to start training smarter and also build real strength from home, you can grab my free 3-day Kickstart program linked in the description below. This is a free 3-day course that focuses on building a workout habit, and it utilizes simple and straightforward exercises so that your only goal is to just show up and build a habit to stay consistent. It has video lectures, follow along workout video guides, and a routine habit tracker, and it's all completely free, so make sure to sign up and join the 300 plus students that have already taken advantage of it. Other than that, guys, I hope you guys learned a thing or two, and if you guys have, please do me a favor and leave a like or comment down below, and make sure to subscribe to see more calisthenics videos in the future. Thank you to those who've watched this video, and especially to those who stuck around to the end, and I wish you the best in your fitness journey. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in another video of mine. Peace out.